Hi everyone, this is Matthew Nunes and welcome to Workplace Writing. So in this video, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the class and also show you around our Canvas site. Of course, if you have taken an online course at Miami before, you are probably familiar with how Canvas is set up. But each class can actually be a little bit different, and so it's good to explore the site to make sure you know where everything is and the general setup of the class. So first, of course, this is the page you're going to see when you open up our site, and you'll see, of course, the easy link to the syllabus and the modules, and of course my contact information here. And we also have this helpful to-do list over here on the right to make sure you don't miss anything. But of course, remember that if you have multiple things listed on the same day, it might not be listing them in the correct order. So the best way to make sure you're going through the pages in the correct order is on the modules page. But we're going to start out with the syllabus. And of course, you'll want to make sure that you read through the syllabus more thoroughly on your own. I'm just going to give you some of the highlights right now. And of course, I do have a link right up front to a printable version of the syllabus if you prefer to print it out, because this can be multiple pages. And if you prefer not to be reading too much on a screen, print out copy might be more helpful for you. So you can print that out if you want to. And of course, here I do have a little introduction about myself and a little video introduction if you haven't seen that already. And I do have my contact information here. Even though this class is online, I do have an office at the Middletown campus, and I will be there a couple of times per week. So if you'd like to drop by or schedule a meeting, I can absolutely do that and meet in person. But I'm also available for video or phone meetings. So especially if you're not anywhere near the Middletown campus, it might be easier just to meet by video. So I'm absolutely happy to do that. And so I'm going to always be available during these times, but also I can be available at other times beyond the office hours as well. Just contact me to make arrangements if you'd like to have a meeting. And of course, the email address is the most dependable way to get a hold of me. The phone number is my office number, so if I'm not there, I might not get the message. So at least not quickly. And so email is the best way to contact me. I do check that throughout the day. So I have some general information about my department here. If you weren't aware of it, of course, we have an English Studies degree, and so that it can be very helpful, which is also includes a minor. And so that's more information on the website if you'd like to take a look at that. And of course, some general information about the course itself here, about workplace writing. So again, make sure you read through this more thoroughly on your own, but really kind of as the title of the class addresses, this class is focusing on writing you might do for a workplace. And so preparation for professional contexts, particularly workplace settings. So we'll think about different workplace genres, that is the types of writing, but also different strategies, some key things that you'll need to keep in mind as you are doing any kind of professional communication. So, whatever career you're interested in going into, you will need to communicate. Some of you might write more than others, but one way or another, even something like an email or a text is a form of writing you may be doing professionally. And so it's good to develop those skills, so that you can be more effective communicator and, hopefully therefore more effective in your job. So again, I have more details here, just let you read through all of these on your own. And I'm going to give you kind of a quick overview of the general flow of the course as well in just a moment. We have our course outcomes here as well. This is, of course, also an advanced writing class, and so I have information about that. As far as required materials for the class, they are all going to be provided for you on our Canvas site, so you do not need to buy a textbook, so that's nice. Below you, if you prefer to print anything, especially since there would be a lot of reading on the screen, you would be responsible for printing any readings if you choose to do that. And of course, make sure you are checking your email regularly. And so I do have a brief grading overview here to give you kind of a sense of what everything's worth. 50% of the class is for the homework. So homework is a lot of different things. So that includes quizzes, discussion activities, other short assignments, drafts, peer reviews. Those are all lumped into the homework grade. But we also have some major projects for the class. And so that's the other 50%. And as you can see from the point distribution here, some of the projects are larger than others. So for example, the first one, which is a more visual project, is 50 points, while the one after that, a guide to writing and communication, is twice the number of points because it's a larger project. And so this will be a video presentation, and then of course some career documents for your last project. Then of course I have my late assignment policy listed here. The key is that you turn everything in on time. If you do need any additional time, any circumstances that means that would warrant an extension, you can contact me, and I do grant extensions when the circumstances warrant that. But you do need to contact me. So just think of this as a professional space. Just like if you wouldn't show up to work late without an explanation, you wouldn't show up to work, just skip work without contacting your employer. Same thing goes for the class. Then I've got the journal grading scale below that, and the schedules on Canvas. So I'll show you the general flow of the class in just a moment. I'm just going to skip through a bunch of these. A few general student responsibilities, obviously. You're going to want to make sure you check Canvas regularly, multiple times per week. You don't want to miss anything. Just also similarly, check your email. If I send you a message, you want to respond to it, right? So you don't want to be missing messages from me or from your classmates. And obviously, do your work on time, submit your work. And I, on my part, will do my best to answer questions in a timely manner, grade work in a timely manner. So really the key is good communication, and everything usually goes well. So the academic integrity policies, of course, is very important. You probably have heard some of these policies before, but there are a couple of very important things I wanted to highlight about this. So obviously, any work for your class needs to be work that is your own work, right? Work that you did yourself. You yourself wrote it. It wasn't something you wrote for other classes. It wasn't something that you grabbed somewhere else and are taking credit for doing it when you didn't do it. But I think so. There are, and of course, anything that you're using sources. Obviously, you need to cite those sources appropriately, so you're giving credit to those, so you're not unintentionally plagiarizing. But the other important element of academic integrity is the AI element, right? So AI, of course, is a new thing that has caused many different adjustments people need to make in many areas of life, including professional settings. But in terms of classes, the use of generative AI to do an assignment for you is cheating, right? So using generative AI such as ChatGPT, Gemini, those things, that is not allowed for this class for any assignment unless I gave you very explicit permission, which I will not. And so, you should not use generative AI for any phase of any assignment for this class. Any use of AI will be considered as cheating. Similarly, writing assistive tools that use AI, including Grammarly. So some of you might be familiar with Grammarly, but that is not allowed for this class. Some similar writing tools that use AI also are not allowed. So if you have, for example, a browser extension installed on your browser for Grammarly or something similar, you will need to uninstall it for this class, for the duration of this class. So you're also not allowed to use Grammarly or anything like that for this class, since they do use AI. In fact, last semester, I had 7 students in my workplace writing classes use AI on assignments, and I caught them all, and they were all found responsible. You do not want that to happen to you. There are some severe consequences to doing that on your grade and on your academic record, which I address here. And we will be having a quiz on the academic integrity policy. Hopefully you're somebody who would never consider doing this, but I do want to put the fear into you right up front, because I do take this very seriously. All right, so I do have additional policies here and links to additional resources on the syllabus, which you can look at on your own. And then at the bottom, we do have the course summary. And again, some of the things listed on a day, it doesn't mean that each one is an assignment. In some cases, they're an assignment. Other times, it's a page you need to view on that day. So for example, when you have Tuesday, August 26th, several of these pages are just pages to view and read the information on it, while others are actual assignments, like the quizzes. So again, these are not necessarily listed in the correct order that you'll be doing them. The modules page will list it in the correct order. The general flow of the class will be main assignments will be due on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So we can just kind of, if you had a Tuesday, Thursday class, it's kind of like that idea. So assignments are generally due Tuesdays and Thursdays. But of course, for some assignments where we have a discussion activity, I usually will have a 24-hour window afterwards in which you'll want to get responses in. So I'll have a reminder showing up on your calendar and to-do list to get responses to classmates in. If you've done them already, then you don't have to worry about it. So those would be the things that might be due on like a Wednesday or Friday if you hadn't done them already. So let's take a look at the modules real quick, just to get a sense of the flow of the class and what we'll be addressing. So module 0, of course, is more of an introductory module. where you can get a sense of the policies, information about the micro-credential opportunity. This class actually goes towards some micro-credentials, which is great. And of course, the couple of quizzes and the introductions. The introductions are always, of course, really helpful because I get a sense of who everybody is, and you get a sense of who your classmates are because you'll be working together. We'll have different discussion activities, peer reviews, where you'll be working together. It's good to get comfortable with who everybody else is in the class. And so the introductions discussion is a great way to start out for getting to know each other. So then we'll start out with Module 1, which is Introduction to Workplace Writing. And this is where we think about that question. What exactly is workplace writing? What are the characteristics of it? What counts as workplace writing? And so some materials and discussion on that, and go on to focus on some specific general types of workplace writing that are common to most professions. So it says email, right? So email is what you'll have to use in pretty much any profession. And so think about professional email, what goes into effective email communication, get to do some practice with that. But also we'll think about the importance of audience, your professional tone and style, and of course also the role of ethics and AI in workplace writing. So those are lots of different of topics we'll be addressing in that first module. And then from there, we'll move on to Module 2, which is Design Principles for Workplace Writing. And if you haven't thought about it before, maybe you think about when you get to this module, is the layout, right? The visual look of a document can be very important. And so sometimes that means the use of visuals and colors and pictures and things like that, but also could just be the general layout of text on a page. That's also an important visual element. And so that module will be focusing on visual design in terms of workplace documents. And so we'll have a project that focuses on that. Then after that, we'll focus on research and workplace writing. Because research actually is something you might have to do in workplaces, but it's also something you'll have to do for this class as well. So it's kind of addressing two elements of research in this very short module. And that is setting up Module 4, which is focusing on writing and communication in your profession. This is where you really can tailor the class toward a profession that you are most interested in, and be focusing your assignments toward researching and understanding the types of writing and communication that are used in that profession. And so it'll culminate in a project, which is still not super long. I think it's about 1,200 words, a project focusing on the writing and communication in that profession. So like a little guide, right, for other readers. And then after that, we'll have a presentation. So we'll have a module which you'll be focusing on presentations, and then you'll be giving a presentation, which will focus on the content of what you addressed in Module 4. And then finally, we'll end it with a module on career documents, which includes, basically preparing for the job, right? For applying for a job, which includes writing a cover letter, which is also called a job application letter, and of course a resume. That's something you might not be familiar with, is a resume. And so we'll be ending the class with that project, which I think hopefully will be very helpful for you as you leave this class well prepared for the workplace. Anyway, so that's a very general overview, but of course I'll let you explore the class on your own as well. And of course, I'll be giving regular updates to the class. So every week, I'll be giving an announcement where I go into some detail about what we're doing for the week and some explanations, additional notes and details for you. So which that way keeps everybody on track. And of course, if you have any questions as you work in the class, you can definitely let me know. And I am looking forward to working with all of you this semester.